We're here in Olympic National Park, and for the next 2 days we're going to be camping on the ocean. We're also going to show you all the really cool things you can do on the west side of Olympic National Park. In the crab cakes, it's just typical recipe of breadcrumbs and whatnot, but it's I'm breathing in the butane. These are Dungeness crab cakes. Dungeness crabs are a specialty of Washington, so very on brand that we're having these. Any thoughts on the crab cake?
Delicious.
See, like, why? Listen closely. Do you hear the waves crashing upon the shore? Because I sure don't. We got moved. Our site was double booked, and it was given to a 70-year-old couple, and we didn't have the heart to make them move, even though it was
They were very nice.
Yeah. So we're in the woods at their tertiary campsite.
It's scary.
It's very scary. It's very dark. And tomorrow we'll go back. But for now, this is what we got. We made it. We set up. We're going to bed. All right, we survived the night, and we already have camp broken down. Pretty secluded area. It was nice. We might try to find the river around here that they claim there's a path to, or we're just going to get started in the park and probably start off with some rainforest today. Alright, this is where we started our day, and we came all the way down here to Lake Quinault. We first stopped at the Hoh rainforest, which is a bit more iconic, but with that came a really, really long line to get in. Potentially 2 or 3 hours of waiting to get in. So we ended up going further south to Quinault rainforest.
Yes.
So we've done the Hoh rainforest previously. It was really, really nice. I think we got there before 7:30, and that's kind of the trick of getting in there before the parking lot's full. But if you end up going somewhere like this, where we're in national forest right now, that's going to be way less busy. Anything outside the park or anything that's, I guess, not name brand is going to be a lot less crowded. listen closely, you can hear a bit of buzzing in the back, and based on this high-vis vest, I'm assuming they're doing some clearing of branches, debris back there, and you can kind of smell the gasoline in the air. That's a big part of the U.S. Forest Service, is not just like protecting the environment, but maintaining it. So a big thing they might do is clear away dead brush that could help or fuel wildfires if they happen, or just making sure that these lovely paths are nice and clear and free of danger. We left the rainforest and we drove up the coast a bit, and we are stopping for a little bit of a picnic on the beach here. We're having more cheese and crackers. We got Vampire Slayer, which is pretty apropos for where we're at.
Jam.
Here we go.
I keep spilling it.
We're gonna walk the beach a little bit and see if we can find any little critters. This is a little grotesque after just seeing those starfish, but this is a juvenile humpback whale that washed up on shore a couple of months ago. There's also a gray whale that washed up about a quarter mile down the beach, but this has been here pretty much all summer. If you're wondering, it smells real bad. In lighter news, there are harbor seals popping up every now and then in the surf here, so maybe we'll see if we can spot one of them and make this a little happier. A much more positive way to end the experience. We actually saw some whales, we saw the spouts, pretty far off in the distance. I'm hoping I got it with my phone, but I'm not sure. We're gonna go back to the car, see if we can get the camera, and see if that helps us a little bit better. So there was a flock of birds that was along with the whales. That's kind of how we were able to track them. The whales were feeding on bait fish, and the birds were kind of circling up ahead, eating what maybe the whales left behind or gathering what they could. But that flock of birds seems to have gone, so we're not so sure if we'll be able to see the whales or not. Oh my god.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Did you like the whale?
Yes!
Alright, so that was way better than expected. That whale sighting was really cool and definitely a more positive upswing to end that trip. But we are now back at our original campsite on the ocean. We're gonna set up, we're gonna maybe take a quick dip, and then we're gonna have dinner and just kind of hang out.
And for the third and final time, Jacob enters the ocean. And here he comes back immediately.
All right, there we go. Ramen with an egg, onion, cabbage, and carrot. Top notch. Top ramen. All right, we are filled to the gills with ramen, so we're doing a post-dinner walk. Over on that far bank, there's two eagles sitting with each other, and there's another eagle over to the right. We're gonna try to catch it on the better camera. this trip started off pretty weird. We had about an hour and a half of sitting in traffic, dead stop on our way out here. Then when we got to the campground, our campsite was already given to someone else, and we had to wait about an hour or so to figure out exactly what we were going to do, and we got sent to a different campground. And then today we were going to go to the Hoh Rainforest, and it was packed and it's going to take a couple of hours, so we had to pivot. So a lot went wrong, but honestly today turned out to be like way better than expected. We got a cool whale sighting. The beaches we went to were all really amazing. That rainforest we did. We found a campsite there that was really empty and peaceful and serene, so we're planning on going back to it. So overall, way more positive than negative. So it's all about keeping a positive mindset, finding the good in everything, and you know, things just shake out well for you.
And having good company.
Alright, these are chocolate brioche bread puddings. It's your normal bread pudding recipe, but instead cook it in a hot water bath with the mason jars.
And add chocolate chips.
Good?
It tastes like French toast.
It does taste a lot like French toast. It is a rainy start to this morning, so we aren't quite sure what we're going to do today. But we're probably going to pack up soon, head into town, and then figure out exactly how we're going to spend the rest of the day.
Round 2, we're trying to go into the Hoh Rainforest. There's still a lot of traffic. It's a little bit earlier today, but we're at the 30-minute mark instead of the 3-hour mark, so feeling hopeful.
Alright, we returned to the Hoh Rainforest to hopefully see some elk, and it took us about 2 miles in and we got that, so pretty sweet. We only waited about 30 minutes in line to get in, so it wasn't so bad. So I would say if you're here before 7:30, you're gonna be fine, but we're gonna go check out the rainforest. right, so what makes this a rainforest? It gets enough rainfall to be considered a rainforest. It averages about 138 inches a year, which is just shy of 12 feet. That path we just walked through was the Hall of Mosses, and it gets about 72,000 visitors a year, so it gets pretty popular.
Horse trail?
I'm not a horse. Long ago, a tree must have fallen, and that became a nurse log. A nurse log is a fallen tree that trees grow out of. So a lot of dirt gathered material where the tree started growing up through the nurse log, and that's why you have these trees in a straight line.
Yeah, I remember hearing.
We're gonna maybe check out a fish hatchery if it's open.
Today, the measure of success is how many adult fish return, both wild and hatchery. If bees invade the hatchery environment, the results can be devastating.
Washington and Alaska are probably the two states that have their culture, history, economies most intertwined with salmon. So this is a hatchery of salmon to kind of help prolong, study, and assist salmon in hatching and returning to the wild. We're going to go check out the locks, which is where the salmon who swim upriver go into the locks and then go into kind of these holding areas where they're able to spawn, and scientists are able to kind of study the salmon, study the eggs, study the fry as they hatch, and try to get them released back into the wild. Oh, I think they're like jumping. Yeah. You can see some little, I don't know if you're supposed to. But yeah, you look at them and jump around. We saw online that we can feed them, and we were really excited for that, but I'm not sure how to feed them, so we'll see. Not sure if you can see them through the water there. Push on the middle.
I think you have to push these, or you could potentially like scoop it in. You want to try that?
Sure. Oh yeah, look at them go. Wow, they're loving it.
Look at them. They're everywhere.
Sweet. Well, that sure was a treat. This thing is just stuffed to the gills with salmon. Like, it's crazy how many are actually in here. I'm not sure what happens when they get larger than this. because I can't imagine it holds many more.
They release them to go back into the Pacific, and then they live there for 1 to 7 years, I believe, and then they swim back upstream and spawn in the river. I think it's the Ho River, and then they die.
Well, there you go. I'm gonna guess they have a little raccoon problem. So you got this little trap set up for them. Now in this one, you can kind of see some little red dots. Those look a lot like eggs. So I'm wondering if this is set up waiting for them to hatch, or if the fry were in here and these are maybe eggs that just never hatched. Kind of interested on that. Yeah.
Can you see them?
Like just your movements, right? I have nothing in my hand. They love it. These fish are crazy. This is graphing the return rate of salmon to this hatchery, and you can see a lot of fluctuation, definitely up on average, so kind of evidence that the science, the research is helping since the mid-90s in raising the salmon population. But you know, from year to year, every now and then you get these huge drops. That's pretty interesting. All right, so this has been the Quinault National Fish Hatchery. It's a little bit north of Aberdeen. That's probably the biggest city around, so I would definitely come here and check it out. Check your timing. I think we're here a bit off season a little bit, but there's still plenty of fish. But I think it's October, September is when they release them, so I bet that's a little bit more bumping. But this was a really interesting stop. This was really last minute. I'm glad we came and checked it out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Videos are released every Wednesday.